up 70 of those seconds and almost sniped it away from rooslugs. If Ganon would have been more cooperative on RandomEffekt's side, he'd have been advancing to the Grand Championship. But as it stands, we are underway for the third and final game of the match, and it is Swordless.
Last night, I got bonus hockey with the Bruins. Tonight, we get bonus Zelda.
Absolutely. Now, I had checked back the VOD while we were away for the break there, and on our screen, it looked like it was a 6-second victory for rooslugs, but we went by SRL time, and lo and behold, the difference was indeed 1 second. Again, closest race I've ever called in any commentary I've done in the 3 years I've been doing commentary, so that was quite exciting. But here we are in Swordless, which is a whole different beast. Why is that?
So, most of these enemies we can't do much about until we start gathering some resources. That A slot on the top of the HUD there, that's going to remain blank the entire race. We aren't going to be able to hit anything with the sword, so we got to scrounge up some money, go buy some bombs, and then hope to find other weapons to take out these enemies.
Absolutely, and eventually these runners will get the wand out of level 6, and that'll be the weapon that's going to guide them through most of this run. And again, for those of you just joining us here, RandomEffekt won game number 1 pretty handily against rooslugs. Rooslugs, by the skin of his teeth, won game number 2. And now we come down to rooslugs' favorite category in Swordless. But as what I like to mention in races, this game doesn't care who you are. Anybody can win at any given time. And both of these runners are starting at 0. This is anybody's game.
Especially in Swordless, because there's so much resource management that you have to go through, that any extra hit you weren't planning on, any extra attacks with the bombs you have to take that you didn't plan on, can set you back greatly. So Swordless, while this is his favorite category, Random definitely still has a great chance of taking this.
Absolutely. Anybody's game here. Resource management is definitely going to be a key. You are 100% correct about that. Now, in this category, they are going to purchase one of the bomb upgrades. I believe it's going to be the one in level 5. Not the second one, though.
And while both sides are kind of finishing up some shopping to be able to start getting into fight, just wanted to clear up one question in chat about what we meant last race about the IRC being the one that decides it. When we do races for SpeedGaming or speedruns live, anything like that, the way we decided is through the race program, and you have to complete the objective of the race. In the last case, it's getting to Zelda. In this case, it's holding the Triforce up in Ganon's room, and then you have to go into the race and type the words dot done, a dot and the word done, and as soon as you hit enter, that's you finishing the race. So what possibly could have happened is, while you did check the VODs and Rue was ahead by 7 seconds, if he possibly typed it out then and typed slightly slower, that could have made up a bit of the difference. It's part of the requirement, so it kind of, from the outside looking in, if you've never raced before, can not be kind of intuitive.
Absolutely. Some runners will usually get the dot done ready before they're ready to finish a race, and that may have been the case for RandomEffekt and not for rooslugs. So that may be the difference why, instead of a 6-second race like you saw live here on SpeedGaming 2, that it ended up being only a 1-second race. So that's the tale of the tape, and that's the reason why we are at this particular spot in the race right now. So rooslugs has the early lead on RandomEffekt in level 1, but he did lose some health here. Of course, you do have to be careful, because getting hit by a boomerang or getting hit by the spike traps is going to cost you 1 heart. This is a category where the boomerang is going to be a very useful thing to have, because with the boomerang, you can kill some of the weaker enemies like Keese and Gels, and you can stun enemies in place. Another weapon that's going to be your best friend is that bow and arrow, because the wooden arrows will do 2 hit points of damage, and they will take down most of the enemies, but they will not take down Gleox, they will not take down Darknuts, and they will not take down those pesky Wizrobes. It looks like rooslugs is menuing in and out to switch from bombs back to the arrows. He's going to use those arrows to take down the gorillas and get his wooden boomerang. RandomEffekt doing likewise, and here comes the Aquamentus fight. Arrows do the trick. 3 arrows is what we need to take him down, and it will be rooslugs who completes level 1 first at 5 minutes and 23 seconds, but RandomEffekt is going to be right behind him, picking up his Triforce at 5:30. So it's a 7-second lead for rooslugs coming out of level 1, but again, it is early.
And both runners reminding us here that we're back to like our first race, where you can up A and do that simulated death to help move around the map a lot faster.
Absolutely, and here we are back into level 3, which tonight has been RandomEffekt's nemesis. Nearly bought it in game number 1, took a death to manhandle in game number 2, and unfortunately, it ended up costing him the race because, again, he was down by 71 seconds, and he made up all but 1 second of that. I mean, if he doesn't take that death, I mean, we're not even here at game number 3, folks.
The one silver lining in Swordless is that you have bow when you come in already, so if he does get trolled a 3rd time, the bow is a little easier to recover that fight with because you can do it from a range and it does that 2 hit point.
That's correct. So you would need 2 wooden arrows for each hand that you haven't cleared yet. There's a bomb drop there for rooslugs. Unfortunately, he does not get a bomb drop. RandomEffekt does get the bomb drop, so advantage RandomEffekt with the bombs here. It will be rooslugs who gets the raft first, but having those extra bombs means less time that RandomEffekt will have to spend prior to the manhandler fight.
You can give him all the bomb drops you want, level 3. He's not going to forgive you for last.
Exactly. So, pretty much side by side for these 2 runners here, but rooslugs is going to... No, I thought he was going to grab the key here. I think he was just trying to build up his count. RandomEffekt will be the first to the manhandler fight here. rooslugs is going to have to... Well, he does get the bomb drop. He was forcing his count there to get that forced 10-count bomb from the orange Dark Nut. Pressure's on RandomEffekt. He needs a bullseye in the worst way. He gets it! Bullseye in the pocket. Gets his bombs. RandomEffekt avenging his earlier demons against Manhandla. Let's see what happens on Rooslug's side. Oh, I thought he had the bullseye himself, but he does take him down in 2 shots. Gets a bomb of his own, so... Great manhandler fights for both runners.
At least level 3 isn't going to be the great decider this time. Random with a great 1 bomb drop that manhandler to be able to take the early lead.
Well, I tell you what, I thought rooslugs also had the bullseye. He must have just barely missed. That's like leaving the solid 10 in bowling, because it looked like his was in the pocket and he didn't quite get the bullseye there. But I'll tell you what, no matter, we've got ourselves a race early on as both of our runners enter level 4. Again, that wooden boomerang coming very handy for these runners. RandomEffekt using it to stun the Keese in place. rooslugs opting to use the wood arrows to clear his path against those fires.
Now, Laz, tell me, are we going to be finishing level 4 here?
Not yet. First thing they're going to do is they're going to get the ladder, but they can't complete level 4, and here's the reason why. That bow and arrow is useful for a lot of enemies. Unfortunately, Gleeoks are impervious to your arrow shots. The only way you can damage a Gleeok is either through your sword or with the wand. Because we don't have the sword and because the wand's in level 6, they can't quite complete level 4 yet. So they're going to grab the ladder here out of the breakfast room. They're going to up an A and they're going to back out of there. They'll come back to level 4 later to finish the job once they're more equipped.
Yeah, just the way the weaknesses for the enemies work out, you have to double dip either level 4 or level 6, and most runners agree level 4 is the easier to double dip, and that ladder is so much more.
Absolutely. So, RandomEffekt here is going to head for the coast, and he is going to use his bomb, and let's see what he decides to take. He'll go ahead and grab the potion, which is definitely something you want to have in Swordless, because by drinking the potion, you can refill your health twice. You don't have to grab the letter, or fork over 68 rupees to grab that red potion, so it's a good play. Rooslugs doing the same thing.
Yeah, Swordless getting that backup potion's a lot more important because it's easier to take the damage. So while having one extra heart permanently is nice, having those 2 chances to say, you know what, this is getting a little too close, I'm going to take a breather, refill, is just invaluable, especially in a race situation against high competition like.
Absolutely, Bobino. And tell you what, Link, for a moment on Rooslug's side, was allergic to grabbing money there. Had some trouble grabbing an 100 rupee secret there. And RandomEffekt has built himself a little bit of a lead here going into level 5. So again, with the 133 rupees that RandomEffekt has right now, he's going to use 100 of those rupees. Oh, he gets hit at Fort Gibdo and is just going to up an A and try again. So this is a chance for Rooslugs to gain some time on RandomEffekt.
Yeah, that essentially gets us back to square one. They're a few pixels apart on the screens at this.
Absolutely. I mean, Rooslugs, or rather RandomEffekt, didn't want to have just one heart going into the Olive Garden in that situation. And Rooslugs trying to do the swag block clip with the bomb, but unfortunately didn't quite get it. And because of that, well, as I was saying that, they're pretty much even. In fact, Rooslugs is going to take just an ever so slight lead here in game number 3. This is for all the marbles, folks. For those of you who just joined us, game number 1 was won by RandomEffekt. It was the any percent category. Game number 2 was won by Rooslugs, and he won by 1 second. In fact, RandomEffekt was 71 seconds down after level 4 because he took a death to Manhandle in level 3. And RandomEffekt gained all of that time back except for 1 second. If Ganon would have cooperated, he'd be in the Grand Championship.
Rue taking an early hit here in the room of requirement.
Yep, and that is not what you want to do, because you look at his health, he's down to 2 hearts, and blue dart nuts do 2 hearts of damage. He takes a death, he is down for the count. Does get a heart drop, that'll get him back up to 3. Now RandomEffekt's in the same spot. If he gets hit by a dark nut, and that last dark nut is not cooperating, one more hit is what he needs, doesn't get the heart drop, so his health situation is going to be dicey, but he is going to go ahead and up an A here, and he's going to get back to 3 hearts. So no problems there for RandomEffekt. But Rooslugs will get the lead here at this juncture.
Yeah, RandomEffekt really showing the other benefit of being able to use that simulated death, the up A. It does save time going through the dungeon, but that health refill can be invaluable. You're in a situation like he was, starting the dungeon at 1 health. No way. I'm going to reset. I'm going to get that extra hit for safety.
Yeah, no question about it there. RandomEffekt doesn't even need to bother with the Zols there and grab the money. He's got plenty of rupees here. And RandomEffekt just going to wait it out. Doesn't really get a good pattern on the Gibdos here. Rooslugs crossing the moat gets a very favorable pattern from the Gibdos. Still a very close race between these two. It's been close pretty much the whole way up to this point. No one's really taking a substantial lead yet. But it will be Rooslugs first to the Dig Dogger fight. He's going to go for, I would imagine, the double bomb strats. Yes, indeedy. Here's the second bomb. Got him. So Rooslugs will have no refill at all coming out of level 5. His time is 14 minutes and 29 seconds. RandomEffekt not far behind. He's about to grab his Triforce at 14:37. So he's only 8 seconds back. This is a very close race.
and that's the name of the game here for Random. He mentioned in the intermission that, in not so many words, that Rue is this is Rue's category. So if he can keep it competitive and then take advantage of any mistake or any misfortune that might come along, he can definitely come back. So being only 8 seconds behind right now definitely is in that game plan.
Absolutely, this is definitely anybody's game right now up to that point. But you gotta think for a moment there, Bobino, about that Fort Gibdo room where RandomEffekt had to do the up and A there. I mean, obviously, if he doesn't do that, he takes the lead if he doesn't have that misfortune happen. But again, just 8 seconds, anybody's game at this point. That's, again, one mishap from either side. There's your 8 seconds. It's anybody's game.
Rue stacking up on an extra bomb purchase there to get ready for level 6. Definitely smart play because you got to clear 2 big Wizrobe rooms before you can get to the wand. So definitely smart going for that extra set of bombs.
Absolutely. He had the money to do so, but by doing that, it'll give RandomEffekt the lead entering level 6. But at 6 hearts, this is a dangerous level because, again, you're losing 2 hearts every time you get hit by a blue Wizrobe, either its body or its beams, and you lose 4 hearts if you get hit by an orange Wizrobe beam. So you don't have much room for error in these rooms coming up. And Rooslugs having some trouble here in the Belfry room. His boomerangs are missing. So that's going to give RandomEffekt a little bit of an edge here. But here is an important room for RandomEffekt. He's got to clear this room and not take damage. He's going to leave the bomb there until he's able to get there. Does get hit by a blue Wizrobe beam, so he's down to 4 hearts. Going to have to be careful. Rooslugs sitting on 5.5 hearts. He's in good shape. He's taking care of all the Wizrobes and will use the arrows to clear the like-likes. RandomEffekt, on the other hand, he's not switching to his arrows, and now he does, and because of that little gaff there, Rooslugs is going to retake the lead. So now here comes the moment of the game where these runners are going to get the almighty item when it comes to Swordless, and that is the wand, because as I had mentioned in the last race, it does 2 hit points of damage and is useful against just about every enemy except Wizrobes, because the only way you can touch Wizrobes are with bombs, other than the sword, of course. And without the sword, those Wizrobes are pretty much going to tell you, "Nah, nah, 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 you can't touch me."
Rue with a great wand room.
Oh, absolutely. That was immaculate. Good setup on the Wizrobes there. Great bomb shots. RandomEffekt getting a bomb drop and is going to reset the room, lock it in place, but Rooslugs will be the first to grab the 1, and he's really established himself. So RandomEffekt's taking this room safe. He's not getting a really favorable pattern from those, and now he's trying to force a count to get more bombs, and this is going to further extend Rooslugs' lead. And RandomEffekt having all sorts of problems here. I know he's trying to build up a count, but he's been getting bopped by the bubbles, and that keeps resetting his count to 0. And that's just going to further and further Rooslugs' lead on RandomEffekt. I mean, right now, he's starting to really pull away, and if RandomEffekt doesn't hurry up, Rooslugs may have a lead that could be insurmountable for him.
This is one of the worst spots to need to farm bombs too, because you're right just short of being able to get that extra offensive ability with that wand, so it just hurts a little bit more.
Right, now Rooslugs has to be careful himself. He's down to 2 hearts, and if he gets hit by one of those Wizrobe beams to the face entering a room, he's down for the count. That's back to start he goes, and RandomEffekt would instantaneously take the lead. So these runners are going to have to be careful on their health, both of them. RandomEffekt does get his one, but rooslugs right now has a pretty big lead and gets a bomb drop from those Vires. I wasn't sure if he forced it off of the 10 count or got a lucky one from the globals, but either way, rooslugs getting that pack of bombs there and getting some health back. And yeah, we did see a Wizro beam to the face, but rooslugs anticipating that shot gets the one cycle on the orange Goma, and rooslugs out of level 6, 2009. And RandomEffekt just missed getting bopped there by that blue Wizard. He would have been down to half a heart there. And RandomEffekt's not in good shape again with the bombs. He's only got 3. He needs to be careful.
We might see him use the strategy of trying to cycle out some, kill these likes, and then cycle out some of the Wizrobes using the spawning pack.
And he's down to his last half a heart. Yeah, he might be doing that, but he's really got to be careful, and he's not going to take any chances. RandomEffekt going to go ahead and sip the Coca-Cola here to refill his health, because if he takes a death right there, that could be game, set, and match, Bobino. Now we see Rooslug going back into level 4 to finish the job and take care of that 2-headed Gleeok.
Yeah, and as we thought, Random cycling those enemies out. He's going to have to clear this room again because the shutter door closes again, but it's going to give him the easier enemies to clear out when he comes back in.
Yeah, that's right, because in the second magical breakfast room, the dominant enemy is the pancake. It is not the Wizrobes. So RandomEffekt will have to do it one more time, and when he comes back into that magical breakfast room, the last enemy left will be that like. So RandomEffekt is holding his own right here. He's not taking a death. However, he's going to find himself more than 2 minutes behind Rooslugs. There's a clock drop for Rooslugs, so now he can strategically place his bombs and gets the bomb drop from the Vires there. So now he's got 3.5 hearts to work with here on this Gleeok fight, so he can only take 3 hits. And only the tip of the wand is going to do damage to those Gleeok heads. It's 5 hits for the first head, 3 hits for the second, but that was a very, very solid fight. And Rooslugs not even going to bother to grab the heart container. He is done with level 4.
Random finishing up level 6 here.
Almost didn't get the one cycle on that orange Goma, but his time is 22:33. He is trailing by 2 minutes and 24 seconds coming out of level 6.
And what's crazy is he recovered really well from his setbacks. This could be an even bigger lead if he didn't know how to recover from some of those big setbacks.
Absolutely, Bobby. And I mean, if he takes a death in that magical breakfast room, you could almost write it on the wall for Rooslugs that he's punching his ticket to the Grand Championship. It's not over yet, though, because, again, still things could happen. I mean, Rooslugs, let's say he gets wall-mastered it here in level 7, or maybe he takes a death in level 8 or level 9. RandomEffekt could get back into this. It's not over yet, but yes, he's going to have to hope that Rooslugs makes a big mistake somewhere down the road. So Rooslugs in the middle of level 7 after sliding that piece of meat to the hungry Gorilla there, and is now going to make his way into the heart of Blue Gorilla country.
And Random doing his best to plow through level 4 because he know while it is going to take a setback on Roo's side, he knows he needs to play well to take advantage of it if it comes up.
Absolutely, and look at RandomEffekt's health. He's only got 1.5 hearts left. He can only get hit by a fireball once. If he gets hit 2 times, again, that's going to be all she wrote, I think, in my opinion. Even if Rooslugs were to take a death, he'd have to take 2 deaths, in my opinion, for RandomEffekt to come back. But very clean Gleeok fight there on RandomEffekt's side, so he'll be done with level 4. we'll get an idea of what kind of lead rooslugs is going to have after level 7. And rooslugs will go ahead and go double bomb here on this triple segmented dig dogger. Perfect fight. So here's a room where rooslugs needs to be very careful, Bob. You know, here, this reverse C room. He's going to have the wand, though, so it is going to make this a lot easier than any other category, because if you get hit by the bubbles, it's not going to take your wand beam, and you could still go to town on those wall masters. So it doesn't matter if you get hit by 10 bubbles, that wand is going to save your bacon and make that room much easier.
Yeah, he clears it with no problem there, but like you're saying with the bubbles, you can go right through them, but sometimes that kind of lulls people into false insecurity. They get pushed and get thrown right into a hand back to the start.
We've seen that happen before in the tournament already, and yeah, if that would have happened to rooslugs, I mean, you're talking about 1.5 minutes of time loss. I don't know what the exact time loss is. It's quite significant, that much I know. And on Triforce Grab, it's a 25-53 for rooslugs, so keep that in mind when RandomEffekt gets his Triforce out of level 7. We'll see if he gained any kind of ground at all. Rooslugs having a little bit of trouble with the screen scrolling here at the Dead Woods, but does make it eventually, and he'll do the Around the World screen wrap to get back to Eastern Hyrule. He'll grab his heart container, and I would imagine would move on to level 2. Now, there's one disadvantage with the bomb situation here in Swordless. In any sorted category, you can get a 4-pack of bombs from those Dodongos. But because we can't kill the Dodongos with the wand, we can only kill them with the bombs, we don't get that bomb drop coming out of level 2.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those safeties you don't get in Swordless. The other runs, like you mentioned, you get that safety like, okay, I'm a little low, let me farm this real quick. Here, not an option.
Correction, Rooslugs going to level 8 next. Level 2 will be coming up later, but he got the bullseye on that man Handler. That is something you don't see every day, but he had to make do with that situation because he got a really bad spawn location from that man Handler. Set down the bomb, got the bullseye. Didn't get the bomb drop, but to be honest, he didn't need it. RandomEffekt approaching the Dig Dogger. It's a clean fight for him. And he'll be coming up against the Reverse C room. He'll equip his wand, I would imagine, and go to town on those Wall Masters. Speaking of going to town, Rooslugs is now in the second Blue Lagoon room. He'll have to use a combination of bombs and his wand to take down the 8 HP Blue Dart Nuts. Every time you get hit, you lose 2 hearts. You need 4 wand hits or 2 bombs to take down a Blue Dart Nut. And it looks like that RandomEffekt is going to lose even more time, unfortunately, to Rooslugs. Because remember, it was a 224 lead for Rooslugs coming out of whatever level that was, level 6. It's now a 28-29, so that lead has increased to 2 minutes and 36 seconds for Rooslugs.
Yeah, the lead is a big number here, but both these racers, so in this case, Roo's in the lead, but both these racers are not the type to play it safe and things like that. So if Roo is still going as fast as he possibly can, that leaves the window open for mistakes. So while we do have a 236 difference, that can get evaporated by a few untimely mistakes or bad luck.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, on RandomEffekt's side, you just saw something that you very rarely see, and that's a Zola kill. Because that Zola would not get out of RandomEffekt's way, so he's just like, I'm just going to take you down with my wand. Because they do have 2 HP. Which, by the way, regenerate if you don't kill them. So if you have a wood sword and you hit a Zola, but you only hit it once, their health actually regenerates when they surface again. Oh, nice bullseye there from RandomEffekt. So 2 picture-perfect Manhandla fights he's had in this Swordless race, and he's probably thinking to himself, why couldn't have I had this kind of Manhandla luck in the first 2 races? Rooslugs here in level 2. And again, he's not going to get that forced bomb drop from the Dodongos, so he's going to have to make sure that he uses his bombs wisely. In fact, he's probably not going to use any bombs until he gets to the Troldongo fight, because he'll want to use his wand to take down the orange gorillas. Plus, he'll get his room drop. He'd love to get a candy bomb from one of these gorillas, but instead he got the nickel, so he got 10 in a row. Oh, and he does get his candy bomb. Very nice. And rooslugs doesn't even grab the bomb on the right.
On Random side, he just had a really good Blue Lagoon too, and Rue only had an okay clear of that room, so he could actually make up time.
I'll tell you what, we'll look at the splits after level 2 to see what kind of lead rooslugs has. And rooslugs does remember to go back and pick up the bombs. And now I know why he decided to leave those bombs on the table. That was a very smart move on rooslugs' part. That was a 3104 on a Triforce pickup there. But the reason why he left the bombs there is he wanted to bomb the Dodongo first, then go back, grab the bombs. That way he would maximize on his bombs there. That's a very smart play.
Yeah, realizing the difference between room drops and mob drops, because if that was one that just fell off a random gorilla, it wouldn't have been there when he came back, so knowing that difference definitely helps out.
RandomEffekt does take care of the 4-headed Gleeok with a heart and a half to spare, and he'll be complete with level 8. Rooslugs, though, on his way to level 9 right now, and level 9 in Swordless, you could argue, is a little bit easier because you don't have to take care of Patra 2, you don't have to take care of the Reverse C. All you have to do is get to Ganon's room. You don't need the silver arrows. It makes this a shorter path to the finish line. So right now, Rooslugs in the catbird seat here in level 9. This is his match to lose, folks.
Yeah, it's definitely counterintuitive to think that level 9 could be easier without a sword, but definitely, from what you said, the fights, the actual dungeon is shorter, so you're not having to do as much, and you don't have to do that key Ganon fight at the end. All you have to do is show him a Triforce, and then you can win.
Yep, absolutely here. So Rooslugs going to use that wooden boomerang to stun the pancakes in place. And RandomEffekt continuing here in level 2, but I think that lead is widening now for Rooslugs, and the reason is RandomEffekt is out of bombs. Here's one of the required Wizrobe brooms here, and gets a bomb drop from the orange Wizrobe there. Not sure if that was a 10-count force or if that was a lucky one, but nonetheless, Rooslugs with the 11. I think that was a forced. He's taking it out on the old man, because that old man, whenever you hit it, adds 1 to your consecutive counter there. So by getting the count up so high, he's trying to force bombs from these enemies here. And I imagine he's going to try and maybe force a bomb from the blue Wizrobe, which he does successfully.
So RandomEffekt finishing level 2 here at 3351.
That lead is now up to 2 minutes and 47 seconds for Rooslugs. He's continuing to gain time, which is a vast departure from the last race where it was RandomEffekt who was gaining time on Rooslugs. But it goes back to what we had talked about prior to the start of the race, that this is Rooslugs' favorite category, and he's showing us why it's his favorite category. I'm telling you right now, Rooslugs would have to have 2 deaths for RandomEffekt to catch up here at this point. I mean, the way Rooslugs is playing right now, it's going to take 2 deaths for RandomEffekt to make the miracle happen. Again, ball's in Rooslugs' court. It's his to lose. He's got 5 hearts left. He's in pretty good shape. He has just one more required wizard room he has to take care of. And he still has both of his potions, by the way. But he's got to be careful, wait it out, do not get hit by those orange Wizro beams because he would have been down for the count. And Rooslug's taking no chance. He's going to sip his Coca-Cola, get all of his health back, and he has 8 bombs to take care of the final required Wizro room, but he has to have 1 left over to bomb the wall. And so far, so good. He's just got these 2 blue Wizrobes left to take care of. Now 1 more left to go. Got him. Very nice room there for Rooslugs. He's in really good shape here, folks. He is just a few rooms away from punching his ticket to the Grand Championship against JSR.
Our last hurdle here is going to be the pseudo boss fight, final boss fight against Patra. So we'll see how this goes. Patra can still do a ton of damage. He's got the backup potion, but you got to hold it.
That's right, because getting hit by Patra loses you 2 hearts, but Rooslug's going to go for the quick strats right here, staying in the middle. Look how quickly he just took down Patra there. That was an amazing fight there. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Gannon, and get your GGs out for Rooslugs. He has won the match against RandomEffekt and will be moving on to the finals against JSR. What an amazing comeback there for Rooslugs. Please make sure you give both of our runners, RandomEffekt and Rooslugs, a follow. They were terrific tonight. RandomEffekt getting trolled by Manhandla in games 1 and 2, and the one in game 2 was the one that really hurt him the most, because if he doesn't get trolled by this Manhandla, Rooslugs does not make this comeback possible. But that is the nature of the beast known as Legend of Zelda. She can be an ice queen at times. And with that, we do have our winner, Rooslugs, here in the commentator's booth. GG, congratulations. You are moving on to the Grand Championship against JSR. How are you feeling, my friend? I'm sorry, we can't hear you. Let's try it again.
So while Rooslugs is checking that out real quick, let's get some encouragement going for RandomEffekt here as he's bringing this run to the end for.
Absolutely. Even though he knows he has been defeated here, he's going to go ahead, be a good sport, and finish up this run himself. I'll tell you what, he didn't play too terribly, but it came down to 1 level, and that level was level 6.
And that's what happens when you're in these final brackets. You don't have to play bad to lose, because you're up against such strong competition that if they play out of their mind and you just play great, then unfortunately that's going to have you come up on the short.
Absolutely. You can play good, but if your opponent plays better, there's just nothing you can coach against.
Evening, gentlemen.
Hey, Rooslugs, we can hear you. How are you doing?
I kind of feel a bit unworthy about this because JSR or RandomEffekt played out of his mind.
Absolutely. I mean, you know what was going on in game number 2. Game number 2, he took that unfortunate death to Manhandla. All of his bombs just kept missing. It was a very bad break he took, and that enabled you to build a lead that was just enough to hold him off and force game number 3 to your favorite category in Swordless.
Yeah, I do like this category. I feel like I'm really consistent at it and really don't fear it at all.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, game number 1, I mean, it just didn't go your way in game number 1. Game number 2, you had that 71-second lead out of level 4, and then slowly but surely, RandomEffekt kept chipping at your lead, and then all of a sudden we get to the Ganon fight, it was going to come down to who had the better fight, and it turned out neither one of you did. But if RandomEffekt would have had a perfect Ganon fight, he would have sniped you at the end, and we don't even talk about Game 3.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I just changed my keyboard and mouse batteries before the round, and my E button wasn't working. I had to take it out and put it back.
Oh, so that's the
Wow.
reason why. So that's the reason why instead of a 6-second win, it ended up being a 1-second win.
Yeah, I had to fix my E button as I was typing .don.
Wow. So you ended up having .don, and that E wouldn't type. That would have been terrible. A terrible way to lose a race if that would have happened. Yikes, man. And RandomEffekt just got done taking down Patcher 3, and for the final time tonight, here's Ganon. Please get your GGs out for RandomEffekt. A very good effort on his part, but he's going to come up just barely short.
Get him, fight him.
If this was the randomizer where the wand does do damage on Ganon, he could do that. Unfortunately, no such luck in the vanilla game.
So, Rue, while we're covering some stuff here, how are you feeling about going up against JSR?
Not any better than I felt going up against BTs or RandomEffekt. Like I mentioned the other day, that these guys running still are, in my eyes, on the top of the skill pedestal, and I feel like I just snuck in. So it's an honor, and I got to play better than tonight. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what, you've been the ultimate Cinderella story here. I think a lot of runners could safely say that I don't think many expected rooslugs to make it to the Grand Championship. You've defeated some outstanding opponents to get here, but it just goes to show that this is the reason why you play your races. As I always like to say in commentary, the game doesn't care who you are. Anybody can win any given race at any time, as we do have our runner-up RandomEffekt here in the commentator's booth. GG. Dude, I am terribly sorry about the way that Manhandler treated you in games 1 and 2, and ultimately, it ended up costing you the match.
Yeah, it happens. I took a risk, and I knew it was a risk going in with 2 bombs on the hundo, but I didn't feel like giving up 15 seconds to Rue at the beginning of the game, and lo and behold, I probably should have given up 15 seconds at the beginning of the game to get those extra pack of bombs with the keys, but I had, it's a good pattern that I'm familiar with. If I get it, it's not that bad, and it just didn't turn out that way. So, is what it is. GG, Rue.
GG, my friend.
I'll tell you what, though, that was one hell of a comeback you had on rooslugs, though. You were 71 seconds down in level 4, and you cut that to, well, on the screen it was 6 seconds, but because of the issues rooslugs had with his keyboard, 1 second. So you made up all but 70 seconds of that time back. I mean, you didn't give up. I think a lot of runners in your situation probably would have folded after losing that fight to Manhandler, but you kept chipping away at him, and you almost made the comeback happen. If Ganon just would have cooperated, race would have been yours.
Would have been real close, but depending on, I'm not gonna win by a he can't done kind of thing. Well, we would have probably gone to some tape or gone to talked about it, but it would have been really close. I thought I put up a good effort there. I mean, I was aware sort of where he was, and the only reason I really didn't you never give up. I mean, anything can happen in level 8. He could have had a 3-cycle Goma. He could have been down so many hearts and had a 3-cycle Goma, and that could have made the difference. That could have made up half the time. But I heard we both got. I heard we both got 1 cycle. So
no, rooslugs got a 2-cycle. He got he got the bad Goma pattern. He moved right, and yours moved straight.
He was like 1 frame away from the 1-cycle right go.
Yeah, I mean, it boiled down to you can't die. Like, you just can't. And it happens. It happened. Happened plenty of times to opponents that should have beat me in the any percent no open A tournament last year, and happens. Manhandle is a thing when you go 3 first. And then after that, I pretty much knew Rue's just gonna slaughter me in Swordless. I didn't really have a chance. Even if I wouldn't have had the problems I had in 6, you still would have beaten me because I've never put up a race time like that.
Neither have I.
Ghost.
Oh, I
Ghost.
actually I did see that. 2 seconds. So you got a 1 second 100% PB race PB and a 2 second swordless race PB. Nice job.
I need to race more. I've only
So
raced like 5 times.
So that means next time you're going to get that 3 second race PB.
Well, next time he's going to get a minute PB in Hundo because
There you go.
If your race PB is not under 38 minutes, like it's going to be at some point if you join some races on that. But I would see that one going down a lot quicker than the swordless there. I mean, the swordless is going to happen too.
I must say, tonight,
Rue's a great opponent. I think I put swordless at the end because I knew I had the advantage in the other two, but not much of an advantage as you saw. So I'm glad that we could put on 3, decent races, I guess, but a good show. Nonetheless, good showing from JSR and Cant earlier on some really close races, and we had some really close races here. So it's a good show.
Absolutely. I must say, all 4 runners tonight during our 2 semifinals here on Speed Gaming 2, they put up a clinic. All of them went the distance. Make sure you give all 4 runners a follow. Again, that was Cantaloupe, me, JSR, RandomEffekt, and rooslugs. They were fantastic. Boy, I tell you what. Again, GG to the both of you. And rooslugs, congratulations on making it to the Grand Championship. And RandomEffekt, very valiant effort tonight.
Thank you. Good luck, Rue.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It was a real fun time to race you, my man.
It was a lot of fun to call too, guys. Thank you so much for that.
All right, gentlemen, have yourselves a great rest of your week. And again, to rooslugs, best of luck to you in the finals against JSR, whenever that might be.
Thank you very much. We'll see what happens. I'm excited.
All right, and with that, that is going to conclude our Zelda multi-category tournament action for tonight. But I do want to point out that tomorrow night, game number 2 of the All Boards No Swords Grand Finals happening tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. If Adaginos wins tomorrow night, he takes home the All Boards No Swords Zelda Randomizer Tournament Championship. So Fury SK gotta win this match, or the title belongs to Agent. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So, Bobino, any final words before we say goodnight?
Just a lot of fun, a lot of great races. I really appreciated being here, and appreciate all the backup from chat and conversation. Both racers plus our other 2 commentators and other 2 racers before us had a lot of fun tonight. A lot of great racing for Zelda.
Absolutely. These 4 dedicated Zelda runners gave it their all tonight. Any one of them could be sitting in the Grand Championship, but it is JSR and rooslugs that are going to battle it out for our very first ever Zelda 1 multi-category tournament. It's going to be exciting, and I'll tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me if that match went the full 3 games. So with that is going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming 2. Again, make sure you give all 4 of our runners tonight a follow, and also our commentators for the first match, BTs and Adirondack Rick. Make sure you give them a follow as well. Both of them are fellow Zelda 1 runners also. And please make sure you give my commentator, Almighty Bino, a follow also. Thank you very much for doing the call with me tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely a lot of fun. Honestly, the first race, I was so excited to be on comms for a Here's Ganon from you. It's just
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people love that call, and hey, it all stemmed from when I said it during one of my own Zelda speedruns, and it kind of stuck with me. So that was pretty much the origin of where Here's Ganon came from. So that's that story, and we're gonna have a lot of exciting stories happening when we join in the championship for the almighty multi-category tournament, the Grand Championship between JSR, rooslugs. You don't want to miss it. So on behalf of everybody here on Speed Gaming, I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23 with my partner Almighty Bobino. Have a great evening, and we will see you next time for the finale of this tournament.